good.
Hi, mate.
Sorry for the confusion, mate. I thought we were, because we've got Shaun on at 11, haven't we? And I thought we were coming on at 11. So luckily,
No
I
worries.
went to Facebook and saw you saying that you were on, and I saw you in your Everton shirt, looking oh so sexy.
Ah, fucking hell. You know what? There's still I've still got 75 to go, or something like that. Maybe a little bit less. You'll have to invite your friends again today. I keep inviting mine though.
I think I have done, mate. I've stopped kind of. I don't think I've had many new ones, but I can remedy that.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, it's going really slow again. We need somebody to click those little three dots and
Well,
invite their mate.
I mean, did you not invite the Fijian team to follow us?
Yeah, they couldn't fucking understand the word I was saying. I'm Scouser, aren't I?
Follow me. Mate, you don't want to say that to some big fucking rugby units, do you?
Well, my one of my lads is off their fucking tree, and this one of the Fijian guys, he's gone up to him to get his ball signed, and he said, "Oh, you just have to give me a minute, just getting interviewed, like the TV camera and all that." There. So instead of just getting off, my lad just stands there staring at him. So I'm shouting, "Funnyfarm Pod! Get onto the Funnyfarm Pod!" Me little lad, you know.
So hopefully we might get some followers from the TV.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Fijian TV, I think it was. I think.
Oh dear.
It, it's weird, you know what? They're set up because we watched them training. Because we're going to watch the game on Saturday. We got tickets to go and watch them in the Hill Dickinson Stadium. That's going to be an experience. Everybody I've spoken to about the Hill Dickinson Stadium, including Evertonians, have said it's a shit stadium. But anyway.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of these new built stadiums, though, the fans are like. I've got a mate who's West Ham, and he said like the new stadium they've got is nowhere near as good as where was it they played? Upton Park, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's nowhere near as good as that. So like I've been to Filbert Street and the new Leicester Ground, and the new one's not as good in my opinion. It's not got the atmosphere that like these one tier stadiums. They're just not great, are they?
Yeah, well, that's something interesting I learned last week about, because Anfield, because they're trying to obviously generate as much money as they can, man, see the Foo Fighters there and
Yeah.
stuff. And they have they have 1 month a year, it's like July, nothing can go on in Anfield to give the residents a break, basically. It's in the middle of a residential area, isn't it?
It's in the middle, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, just getting back to the Fijians team as well and their training. They had they had drones up, while they're training. They've got drones up. They've got people going around with cameras and iPads and stuff. Looked all very technical. They're obviously filming the guys. They're filming the players, and they're really homing in on what they're doing and that. It was really impressive to watch.
Are they playing?
Really impressive.
Yes, so this weekend.
I know.
Are they playing England this weekend? Then I'm guessing.
Yeah, on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but apparently they're playing all their home games in the UK because they've got no international stadium apparently or something.
No.
So that's what it is.
Did you watch the Argentina game last night?
No. I was training. Last night, right? Rugby training last night with the lads, and one of them said, "Oh, fucking Egypt have knocked Argentina out 2-0." So it's like, no. So I looked at it, and it was 3-2.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi hadn't caught up with their phone, because their shit phone. So it says 3-2. They scored their 3 times last 20 minutes, didn't they?
Yeah. It was a fucking brilliant game. I've got to say, the best game I've ever seen at the World Cup, in my opinion, was the England game. I thought fucking brilliant.
Oh, the England game.
Yeah, but last night last night was unreal, mate. So I said to Sophie, "Shall we watch the Argentina game?" And she said, "Yeah, we're watching something else." And I just flicked on to look what time it kicked off, and it had already kicked off. It'd been going 25 minutes. So it must have been an early kickoff. So I said, "Oh, it's on now," and fucking Egypt are winning 1-0. So we didn't see the first goal, and then we started watching it. So they took them to half time at 1-0, and then they scored a fucking worldie of a goal, mate. Like this, Hassan ran it down the wing. I think it went in, might have gone into Salah. It might not. And he whacked it in, and Zico scored the goal. That one went to VAR and got disallowed. So that like it was a soft foul as well, right at the other end of the pitch, like on the right hand side of the pitch, right near the corner flag. There's a fucking foul there. So they disallowed the goal for that. And then a couple of minutes later, fucking same lad, Hassan, Bosch, this, that, and the other. And then that was no, sorry, it wasn't Hassan. I think it's Salah comes out, boshes the ball into Zico, 2-0, and you think this is all over now. I think that was at about 70 minutes, 75 minutes, and you're thinking, fuck me, they've just got to sit on the ball now. And then, yeah, Argentina just like to. I mean, they were the better team. They were the better team, obviously, for the 90 minutes. I mean,
under that amount of pressure for like 20 minutes, you know, that's fucking outstanding, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they literally, like, Egypt had 2 shots on target and 2 goals. Yeah. And, you know, on the break, they looked, like, really good. But I felt sorry for Egypt, mate, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah. But, yeah.
You know what, there's a lot of teams you feel sorry for, and then you got that fucking American team, fucking Trump sticking his fucking 2-penny thing and fucking getting that red card rescinded. That's fucking terrible,
That red card, it's not. It's going to be. It's like suspended, like fucking prison sentence, suspended for a year. Fuck. I'm so glad they got booted out.
Wasn't Ronaldo supposed to miss his first game of the World Cup as well?
Or
second game, first couple of games, because he got sent off, didn't he? Was it a qualifier or a friendly or something? He got sent off, and he shouldn't have been playing his first couple of games. It's all bollocks, isn't it? It's like one rule. The rules are shite, aren't they? Fucking Trump saying to fucking the FIFA president, what's his fucking name? I can't even fucking want to speak his name. He's a twat.
It's so corrupt, mate. It's unbelievable.
It's awful. You know what? At least UEFA waded into it.
Yeah.
The FA are shitting themselves, aren't they, in case we don't get the World Cup in 2035?
Yeah.
They're not saying too much at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's all. It's horrible, isn't it?
So corrupt. So corrupt.
It's fucking disgraceful. Talking about corruption and knobheads and all that. How about fucking Farage?
You can't call him that, mate, on the pod. It's Farage.
Call what?
It's Farage.
It's Farage, is it?
Yeah, because you wouldn't say I'm going out to my garage, would you? It's garage, so it's fucking Farage.
Farage, okay.
It's like Sean Bean, isn't it? It's got to be Sean Bean or Shaun Bourne. It can't be Sean Bean.
You know what? It's just the English language. Let's not even fucking discuss it. Let's talk about that.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, mate. I saw that he'd resigned or whatever. I don't really know what's gone off. So, I like I say, I don't watch the news and stuff. So, what's happened?
I was fucking mad busy yesterday, and I saw, I just saw that he was making a speech at 2:00 about his future in as an MP. So because I had everything else going on yesterday with all the rugby and all that. Anyway, I caught up with it last night, and basically, he's fucking resigned as an MP to force a by-election.
Yeah.
Right? So he basically said it's me against the establishment. And a lot of people are saying, he is the fucking establishment. So, you know, so basically all the other parties are pulled out saying, well, we're not going to field a candidate against you.
Yeah, they've done that so he just wins and you don't gain anything.
The only person who said he's going to fucking stand against him is Camp Binface.
Count Binface.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny?
Binface and Nigel. And now Nigel Farage has actually got to go to fucking Clacton. Has he ever fucking been there before?
Wouldn't it be funny if Binface won? Would you imagine?
That'd be funny as fuck.
All the voters come out and go, we want.
Yeah, they're trying to pull some. He hasn't sort of like officially said he's going yet. He hasn't. You have to put your. I think you have to send a letter into somebody and all this bollocks. But yeah, I think that they're trying to pull out some law from 1837. He's under investigation, isn't he, by the was it the parliamentary committee, whatever.
James said it was something financial irregularities or whatever, but
Yeah. So I mean, there's all this going on. So he's just caused a fucking shitstorm, hasn't he? Basically, you know, when it ain't gonna happen. I think he's lost his seat now. I think he's fucked himself up. I think he's shot himself in the arsehole.
I hope so.
I think he has.
Yeah, I hope so, mate. Let's fucking hope. He's a fucking...
It's bizarre he's done that. It's just like, you know, he's making this big thing about it. It's like, well, what the fuck have you done that for, you absolute fucking numpty?
Yeah, I don't know. Politics doesn't, mate. It doesn't matter. It used to be really political, didn't I? I used to like it, and I don't anymore.
Just think it's funny. I just think it's fucking hilarious. The campaign faces. Yeah, I'm standing against him.
I'll have you, Farage. No, I don't know. We're going to have to cut this short because we've got Shaun coming on today. Before we do though, I know it's Wednesday, but how was your weekend and everything? Did you have a good weekend? I've been struggling with my fucking head, as always.
Yeah, you were over in Wales, weren't you, for a bit? What did I do over the weekend? I can't fucking remember, to be honest with you. What did I do? I don't know. I did rugby training on Sunday. What did I do on Saturday? I went to see my dad. Did a bit of shopping for him. He's out of hospital and everything now.
Is he alright?
Yeah. He's okay, mate. He's okay. So yeah, I popped to see him. Yeah, just kids things we were doing over the weekend. Oh, that's right. We had to go to fucking Primark. Mrs. wanted to go shopping for the holidays. Get a load of crap from Primark.
Shopping. I fucking hate shopping. Do you know whenever we go, even Tesco, you go to Tesco, I lose my missus every single fucking time we go to Tesco. She'll just shoot off and I mean, for me, logic says that you walk into the entrance, you find the aisle, you kind of do that. You go round the aisles and then you pay and then you walk out the door. My missus does some kind of fucked up route around. She'll go she'll start over here and then there and then she'll go back over here and it prolongs the fucking agony for at least 15 more minutes as to what you need to be in fucking Tesco. Do you know what I mean?
My missus buys shit out the Middle Island, Aldi.
Middle at Little. So she's got a MIG welder and a fucking welding mask in the garage that she's never used.
Oh, another thing. I had to go back to the hospital at the weekend. I was in the hospital on Sunday night.
For your arm?
Yeah, look at that, man.
So I went for a dog walk with Nick, my mate Nick, on... Yeah, it's bad, isn't it?
I got my antibiotics. Oh, there's crap coming out of it.
Oh,
I got my antibiotics on. I got antibiotics on Friday. Was it Friday? Thursday, got antibiotics. Started taking them. So on 5 days of antibiotics, and on Sunday, I felt really sick, and my arm had swollen up like a balloon. And my missus said, I'm ringing 111, so she rang 111. They got the out-of-hours doctor, and the out-of-hours doctor said, we need to see you. So I went, they have an out-of-hours doctor bit in the Arrow Park Hospital. Arrow Park Hospital is where they take everyone when they've got fucking crazy diseases like COVID and shit like that, and building. Remember in COVID, they had all those...
You're all right, mate, you've just got scared.
Yeah. Anyway, so I went there, and I was only there an hour, fair play, and they give me a load of these other antibiotics, but they're like fucking bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like proper proper big fucking old-fashioned.
You have to put that up your bum, or was it an oral?
Well, they look like you should go up your arse. Yeah. But no, they're oral. But it's come down a lot, though, mate. It's come down a lot, but it's been...
I say I went for a dog walk with my mate Nick on Saturday. So me and Jane took Slink.
Yeah, right. Dog
Dogging. Yeah, and
Dogging.
but come on, keep it fucking clean. Keep it clean. It wasn't one of those nights, you know. I know it normally is, but we went dog walking with my mate Nick and his missus Nat and their two twins, and Nick's got a fucking horse fly bite on his arm, and I'm not kidding. I was walking behind him, mate, and literally his fucking left arm, elbow, same kind of place as where you've got it. In fact, exactly the same place you've got it. Double the size of his right arm. And I said, you need to go and get it sorted. I said, my mate Charlie, as I mentioned you, I said, Charlie's got one as well. He says he's on fucking antibiotics. And he says, they won't give me antibiotics. So he's taking loads of antihistamines and stuff. They've got to wait for it to go down or it's got to spread.
I fucking had them. I had it for 2 weeks, didn't I, before I got my antibiotics.
Yeah.
And it slowly got worse. Then when they give me the antibiotics, I fucking went mad again.
But he says that he gets it all the time. He has bad every time he gets bitten by anything, he has a bad reaction to it. Are you the same?
No, you know what? Years ago, remember, like, I used to travel work to China. I used to get bitten loads, and then it just stopped. And then, because I used to get bitten, and then it just stopped. And then, I think since I moved out, there's loads of fucking mozzies down here. I get bitten by the mozzies down here where I live because we're just on the estuary, and they introduced a load of mozzies to fucking feed the bird life down here, and they've gone fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get a lot of horseflies. But yeah, recently again I've started going crazy with bites. Got shitloads on me back. I just fucking got bitten twice last night in bed.
Okay.
Looked like I got bitten by fucking Dracula.
They don't like me. I mean, I do get bites, and I just see like a little red mark on my arm. That bit, like, and it itch a little bit. That's as bad as I get it. But the funny thing on Saturday, we went up Shipley Park. He's obviously said about his arm, and then we stopped at the visitor centre at Shipley. I don't know if you've ever been to get a coffee. So we all get a coffee, and then Nick had a ping on his phone when we were waiting for the coffees, and he looks on it, and it was fucking eBay or Amazon or something like that, and he's like, your antihistamine fly repellent will arrive today. So he'd ordered some spray to put on himself to repel it, and it fucking come too late, didn't it?
I think all that spray doesn't work, you know. It doesn't work. I thought the Everton shit would have worked, actually.
Maybe they're fucking Liverpool fans, mate. Maybe that fly's like, right, I'm having this bastard. I'm having this toffee cunt. I don't know. But I did big on. So I did last Tuesday. It was a mad week last week. So I did the pod last week from Wales, both Wednesday and Friday. I did a gig on Tuesday and went straight to my mum's. So I didn't get to my mum's till midnight on the hours of Wednesday, and then obviously did the pod from there. Two cracking pods, people. We had Tim and Scott on, who've been on before. And then we had Callum on the Friday. Watch that and watch it to the end, because we start off really jovial and then we talk about some really serious stuff at the end of that pod. So go on and watch those pods. I've just reposted the Callum episode on Facebook. So go on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, follow the pod page on Facebook, and watch that episode. It's a really, really good episode, and we deal with like some very jovial stuff. About jock straps and the World Cup and how Scotland are shit at football, and then we talk about some really, really tough men's mental health issues at the end. So it's one to watch. And yeah, the one with Tim and Scott was just batshit crazy. Wanted lots of impressions. We got them to do a mock interview, didn't we? Where Tim had to pretend. What was his job?
He was a Turkish delight confectioner.
Yeah, a Turkish delight expert, and Scott interviewed him. It was funny, it was very funny. So please watch those. We're going to be back in literally a few minutes, probably seconds when I edit it, with another returning guest, Big Shaun, and good friend of mine. He actually posted a video the other day, and he does an impersonation of Donald Trump. Watch that video in between time, mate, because it's quite funny. He has a bit of a rant about it on there. I only watched up to the bit where he did the Trump impression, but it was a very good impression. So we will be getting him to do that impression on the pod. and he'll be with us in a few minutes' time. So don't go away. We're just going to make a cup of tea, and then we'll be back, hopefully, with Big Shaun. So we'll see you in a few minutes, guys.
Hello and welcome to the Funnyfarm Pod. And today is a special guest episode, returning guest. But we do have a special today, and I've just fucked it up because we are actually interviewing today Cheech and Chong. You don't get that, do you?
No.
You two on your fucking vapes.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Chong.
What's that about, Shaun?
Fucking hell, that went down like a lead balloon. That didn't
It's the thing
This
is,
is why I shouldn't go on the stage. This is why I
it's an
shouldn't go on the
addiction.
stage.
It's an addiction. We're fucked. And for some of us, this is all the joy we've got left in life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what, Chris, when he went on to his vape, he said, I'm not going to be one of those people who've got it stuck to my hand and I'm sucking on it all day.
I'm not just when I'm on pod. I only smoke when I'm on pod, just to piss you off, Carly. How are we, Shaun?
I'm gonna have a word with your mum about it.
How are we?
So you know what winds me up is when it's just something that seems to have been adopted as like a just a common phrase, but when you say you're all right, mate, and they'll go living the dream.
Oh, mate.
It winds me up because we're not living the dream, are we? We're trudging.
No.
We're trudging through the fucking nightmare with our up to our knees in blood and snot and mud and bile, and surviving. I think that's the best way to put it, is surviving.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I think we. Yeah.
I think that's down to a mindset thing, isn't it? I think if you're going through shit, you are, Annie. You're up to your fucking eyes in shit.
Yeah.
If you're having a good time, if you're enjoying life, I think everybody with sort of like mental health like us three have got knows those feelings, don't they? And I think at the moment I'm going through a high because I love the sun, I love the summer. We're on the countdown now to fucking 21st of December, the dark nights and shit like that. So I'm getting a little bit anxious. But I love the summer. I love being out there, and everything's great at the moment. When I'm fucking jumping around in fucking tulip fields.
What you've just said there, mate, and I don't know if anyone else picked up on that. What you've just said was spoken like somebody who is a true depressive. Because what you just said was, I love the summer, it's great, I'm enjoying it, but we're on the countdown to winter. So it's like you, like almost without even thinking about it there, you just went, fuck, yeah, it's nice, I like it, but all I'm thinking about, I bet it doesn't get to February, March, and you go, oh, brilliant, it's the countdown to the summer now. I bet, No.
Well, February, March, we're coming into April, spring, and I start getting better then because I think we've had this conversation on the pod a lot. I love the summer. I hate the fucking dark nights. I don't like the winter, and I go through most of my shit sort of like when the kids go back to school. It starts happening in September. That's when I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
I mean,
Halloween next.
I tend to be my worst time of year is just after Christmas. From New Year's Eve onwards, that first 2 or 3 months, if I can get through that all right, then rest of the year will be okay. But last few years, it's got to about February, usually around time of my birthday, which is weird, but it gets to about February, and I've had enough. I've had enough of dark. I've had enough of cold. I've had enough of everything, and I'm fed up. And I'm just. And the weirdest thing is, because like I don't sleep, I get maybe, like last night, went to sleep at about 2:30, woke up again at 4:30, nodded off again at about 5, woke up again at like 7:30. And so if I get any sleep, it's broken. but I don't get a lot. And in winter, you never see daylight.
Yeah.
And it's, but you're absolutely right about when you've got depression, when you are a depressive, even the things that you love, they don't fill you full of joy. They just keep you stable. So like going out and gigging, I love going out and gigging, but at the minute or recently, all it's doing is keeping me from dropping lower and lower. It's the only thing that's keeping me going. I mean, I'm still off work for another week, and I've got to decide whether I feel ready to go back. And at this point, I don't know if I am. So
why have you been off, Shaun? Can I ask that if you want to share it? Obviously.
I mean, I had a meltdown in March, and I were off for 2 weeks, and it weren't enough, and I went back too soon. And it's all in my own head. I'm terrified of being off because I feel like it's just this sword hanging over my head that if I'm off sick, they'll get rid of me. And so I push myself and pressure myself to keep going, even when I know I'm not right. And eventually, it ends up being a really major meltdown. So, like towards end of May, beginning of June, I had a proper meltdown at work, and it weren't like don't get me wrong, I weren't nasty to anybody, but we had a team meeting and I were ranting in there, and then I had a rant on Teams chat, and then I finish at 2:30 because I'm on shortened hours now because I'm getting old. And at 2:00, my team leader grabbed me and says, "Can we have a chat?" And I just broke down. I were in bits. So he said, get off home and just let us know how you feel. And I've been off since. So it's still got to arrange some counselling through. We've got this private health scheme at work that we're enrolled in. So I've got to arrange some counselling through that. And I'm also going to ask them about getting a private test for ADHD and autism and all that, because I've got to a point now. I mean, I never really cared about getting a diagnosis. I never really cared about it. Was just like, well, I am what I am,
Yeah.
And is finding out going to make it any different, or is it going to turn out that actually I've got no ADHD, I've got no neurospiciness, I've got no autism, I'm just a cunt. And that's the thing, isn't it? But I've got to a point now where I need to know why I keep doing what I do. I need to know why I am how I am. And like I said, whatever the outcome, at least I'll know.
If you get diagnosed with your ADHD or you're autistic or whatever it is, you'll still be a cunt, though.
Yeah, it won't change me. It's not gonna. It's just I'll be a more self-aware cunt.
You'll know, you'll know. And I think
it's interesting that because me and Chris have spoken about this, because Chris's wife was diagnosed with ADHD. James, was diagnosed with ADHD. So we've spoken about whether because I think I've got ADHD. I have some real crazy fucking moments, but I don't want to know. I really don't want to know. When we've spoken about this before, and whether.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to doctors to ask about it, he said, "Look, I know you want to know. So, but the thing with it is, everybody seems to be getting diagnosed at the minute, and the more people that get diagnosed, some of them might not be that severe, but it starts to devalue the diagnosis because it turns out that everybody's neurospicy. So, if you're not, then you're the weirdo." But
yeah, I think everybody on this planet has got some sort of.
Of course, we have. We're individuals, and I think what's happened is there's been a societal need to explain it. Years and years ago, you wouldn't even have thought about it, would you? You wouldn't have gone, oh, I wonder why I feel sad all the time. You would have just got on with it. And that's what my mother did. You know, I mean, she took tablets at start, but my dad threw them in fire because they were turning her into a zombie.
Yeah.
That's when we were little. I mean, what you got to bear in mind, my mum had me when she were 22, my brother and sister when she were 23. So by the time she was 23 years old, having been quite not a rate like sort of party girl or an outgoing, you know, she always been lived in her brother's shadow. You know, she were kind of just a normal kid. And all of a sudden she's 23 years old, she's got 3 kids under 2. And I were a little get. I mean, I weren't nasty or horrible. Well, having said that, when twins were born, they were premature, so they were in incubator for a bit. And our Joanne, she were born. My brother Lee were born first at 3 o'clock, and my mother says to the midwife, "What is it?" And she says, "It's a little lad." And she went, "Oh, I wanted a little lass." And midwife says, "Well, they might get one yet. There's got another one in here." And she'd no idea. She'd no idea for having twins until that point. So my sister comes along 20 minutes later, but she were a bit bigger at 2, so she come home first. And apparently I took one look at her. My mum come home, said, "Yeah, Shaun, here's your little sister." Bear in mind I'm 14 months old, but I'm already toddling and nearly talking. I took one look at her and wanged her straight across face. And we've been scrapping ever since.
Start as you mean to go on, eh?
But yeah, I mean, my mum sort of lived with depression for like most of her life. But then first sort of 10 to 14 years were rough for her. And but she just got on with it because that's what you were told to do. Pull yourself together, get on with it. So she, she did. But she manifested that in her love language being to call you a big scruffy bag and get a scotch round leg or scotch round head with shawl sandal. And she was like a fucking ninja with one of them. I'm telling you, they were laser guided. She could get around a fucking corner.
You know what? It's just a different generation. I mean, my dad's 90 now, and like, I mean, you know, when I've turned. I mean, I don't bother anymore. So I've just, you know, my head's a bit like fucked at the moment. He said, well, I said, a bit depressed. He said, "Oh, I thought you grew out of that." You know what? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it's like a different fucking generation. It's crazy.
It's like you remember like when people like back in the day when you know, somebody had come out as gay or whatever, and the parents go, "It's just a phase; he'll grow out of that." And, you know, depression and anxiety and stuff like that. I hate things like when like you use the words like "man up" and stuff like that. I don't like that. I think it's because A, it's not really helpful, and B, it's purely you know, you would never say that to a lass. It's literally just like, you are a bloke, man up, sort your life out, go and provide for your family, get it fucking done. And I'm not like degrading mental health in other genders. I'm just saying. And I had a boss.
Did your dad ever say that to you, Chris?
The difference is, for women, they've got naturally this network because the women I know are all far more open and far more willing to talk about when they've got trouble, when they've got problems. We don't, because we get it forced upon us from a young age. Like you said, pick yourself up, dust yourself off. Big boys don't cry. You know, toughen up. And I hate that phrase, "man up." In fact, I hated it so much when I first started in comedy. and somebody were telling me to man up, and I nearly put it out as a T-shirt because me and Jules used to talk about it, and I used to say, you know what, I hate that phrase, man up. I said, you know, whenever somebody says man up, I just want to say, man the fuck off, dickhead. So I nearly put out a T-shirt saying, man up, man the fuck off. Because you're right, it's not helpful. It's fucking destructive, in fact. Because when you're feeling like shit anyway, for somebody to come along and say, man up, is basically saying you're weak, you're pathetic, you're useless, and you're not any of them things. In fact, to actually come out and say, you know what, I'm struggling here, I need some help. That's a strength. That's being able to say, I have got a problem and I want to make myself better. I want to be better. That's a strength. That's not a weakness at all. Asking for help in. I think what is a weakness is going along with all that man up bullshit and bottling it up and keeping it quiet, because the only way you've then got an outlet for it is you bottle it up, you bottle it up, you bottle it up, and then you get pissed up, or you get on substances, and then it ends up with you either destroying yourself or destroying somebody else, and going out and kicking off. Now, I'm a soft ass. You look at size of me, 6 and 8 foot, big fucker like me. You'd think I would be, all this up for a scrap. I'm as soft as they come. If it come to it and I had to defend myself, yeah, I'll hit back. But I've never gone looking for a scrap. I don't even like having an argument. If I have an argument, I've got to go and have 10 minutes for a little cry afterwards.
Yeah.
But,
Society.
Sorry, Chris. I mean, my sort of like, my lad was bullied at school. We encouraged our kids to speak to us. I mean, they do. Fair enough. I mean, I know I'm not deluded where they're going to, they'll tell us everything. You get parents say, oh yeah, they tell me anything. You'd be fucking surprised how much they don't tell you. But our kids tell us quite a bit, and I know they don't tell us a lot, but they do tell us quite a bit. We encourage them to cry. My lad was getting, well, not encourage you. If they want to cry, let it out. You've got to. I couldn't cry when I was little. When I was younger, I couldn't cry at all. But my lad was getting bullied, and I did say to him, you need to toughen up. I did say, you need to toughen up, and if he comes at you again, just knock shit out of him. I don't give a fuck. Just knock shit out of him. And I had to. It was a sort of like I'd gone through the process with the school and all that, and it just fucking wasn't working.
Yeah.
So it was just. But now he doesn't take any shit off anyone now.
And that's the thing. My mother. Because I got bullied right the way through school almost. Because I was bigger than anybody else, and because I've not got that violent streak in me, I were always getting picked on from being like at infant school, because I were a foot taller than everybody else. Even teachers, this is a true story, this. I once slipped on ice on these steps at school and broke my ankle, and I were in plaster cast from toe to knee for like about 3 months. And this teacher had it in for me. She fucking hated me, and I hated her. She was a cowbag. And she made me sit back at classroom on my own, facing back wall. Right? Her excuse was, oh well, we don't want any other kids to trip over Shaun's leg. It was nothing to do with looking after me in any sense. It were all about, we don't want anybody tripping over his leg because he's a big daft lummox, blah blah blah. That's how it were. And my mother used to say to me, you've got to hit him back, you've got to fight back. And I didn't want to fight back. But eventually, and it took me 15 years, eventually one day I did. And when I did, it stopped. And I hate that it had to happen. I hate that it had to get to the point where I had to give somebody a pasting so that folks would stop picking on me. But you know, it is a minefield for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, my sister, totally different. My sister will like my mother, short fuse, and she'd kick off. I mean, she had loads of scraps at school, like Joanne. This one time, this lass was sitting behind my brother in German class, and she's hitting him all the way through, hitting him on back of the head with this metal ruler all the way through class. And I, Joanne, were in the same class, and of course, Ali wanted to bike. One, because he were about 5 foot and 6 stone wet through at that point, but also he wanted to last. But my sister got older her outside classroom, getting her right pasting. And she was like, all right, I've had enough now, I've had enough. But then this other lass, who was supposedly hardest to at cock at fucking year, she hit our Joanne from behind, she sucker punched her, getting her a black eye. And we always go home for dinner time. We come home for dinner time, and our Joanne's fuming. My mother made her stay at home because she would have gone back and absolutely fucking leathered her. She was that wound up. But, you know, and we can all say violence is never the solution. Sometimes a bit of violence is exactly the solution. Give somebody a clip, and they soon stop being a dickhead.
Yeah.
But you know,
people.
Do you think that, like, society, perhaps, like, I'm not, like, obviously there's been stuff thrown about, like, snowflake generation and all that kind of stuff. Do you think that, like, people now are almost too soft? Do you think people have, like, had that little bit of edge taken out of them because of the way that society says you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that? I mean, fair play to Charles telling his lad to stand up for himself, because that's exactly 100%. What I would.
And it's our generation. It's our fault in a sense, because we didn't want our kids and our grandkids to go through what we went through. So we've kind of wrapped them in cotton wool a bit. Yeah. And because we were terrified of what were going on outside, what we'd seen outside, we went, right, we want you to be safe. We want to know where you are. So here's a mobile phone. Here's an iPad. Sit in front of that, or sit in front of a computer. You know, do your stuff. Play your games. Do your internet. Do your studies. And if you have got to go anywhere, here's a mobile phone. Text me when you get there. Text me if you're all right, and text me when you're coming home. And then text me when. And you know, we've made them reliant on us, because we weren't. When we were never reliant on our folks, were we? We used to get up in the morning, have his breakfast, and then piss off for the day, and come back when it was tea time, or when street lights come on. That was it. And we didn't know where we were. They didn't know what we were doing. Thank fuck. Can you imagine if we'd have had mobile phones and camera phones when we were kids? Jeez, we'd have all been in jail.
I think the other point to mention on that, Shaun, remembering from my childhood, we wanted to be out. We wanted to be out with us mates, playing football and on us bikes and stuff like that. Now, all kids want to do is sit on the internet, and you know, and from a mental health perspective, that's not good. We need sunlight, we need air, we need to be out and about. And I do think that there is something in this that, you know, I mean, my kids were always out, you know, with Jane or with me or whatever. They did loads of activities, and they were out. They didn't until I mean, Lottie now constantly on her phone. You know, she's literally on her phone. Sophie's very different. You know, she likes reading and stuff like that. But there's definitely a thing where, you know, people have been kept in almost because of this. I mean, I don't agree with that new thing where they're on about doing the device thing. You can't have a device until is it 16 now or something? I don't agree.
It's social media. The ban on social media, so like YouTube, Snapchat, there's certain things. I totally agree with it.
I do. The reason I do it is because we know what's out there. and your early teens. Once you get to 16, 17, you've become a bit more cynical and a bit more ardent. But when you're in your young teens, everything is based around what people think about you.
I agree with all
about
that.
likes. It's all about they don't like me. They don't like me. When I were at school, if somebody didn't like me, they gave me a clip, and I knew they didn't like me, and I avoided them.
I agree with all that. Right? But what I don't agree with is just going, right, bosh, that's it, now you can't get onto this. What I don't agree with, and it was, I'll use the smoking ban as an example. It was like, like when my granddad, everyone smoked. My mum and dad smoked. We smoked. And that it's like society used to, you watch the Formula One back in the day, and every single car was promoting smoking. Marlboro, Benson Hedges, every car had some player special. Every car had, the government were promoting it and promoting it and promoting it. So in society, it was deemed okay. And then 2006, they basically just turned around and said, it's not socially acceptable anymore. We're stopping you smoking. And I literally walked into a pub with a fag on by accident, complete accident when that happened, because it was the norm. And to tell somebody that you can't, like, just instantly go, bosh, you're not doing that anymore, that's a massive brain change that you've got to go through. And we're dealing with kids. It's not adults that are having...
It'd be the adults setting it up on the kids' phones. It'd be down to the parents to police it.
Yeah.
It'd be down to the parents. But you know what, Chris? After saying that, I know you're saying about the smoking ban, but if the smoking ban would have come in 1985, you wouldn't be fucking smoking now.
No.
Correct.
So, it swings around about
that. But social media is not going anywhere.
Here's the daftest thing, right? My mum and dad both smoked, and I was vehemently anti-smoking. Now, when my mates started smoking, they were about 12, 13, 14. And by the time they were 19, a lot of them had wised up and packed in. I didn't start smoking till I was 19. And the only reason I started smoking at all is because I started smoking weed at uni. So, of course, because I started smoking spliffs, it was then easy to start smoking cigs. To the point where I stopped smoking spliffs and just smoked cigs. And then I became a fucking Olympic smoker. I was like, when I used to be in this band and we used to tour in Austria in ski seasons. So like when it were like £5-6 a packet here for a packet of cigs, in Austria, it were 150 for Marlboro Golds or Marlboro Lights or Marlboro Soft Pack or Camel or whatever. So when we were in Austria on tour, there were like 4 of us in band that smoked, and we were probably going through 80 a day. Because you'd be crashing them every 2 minutes. Now, and it took me so long to properly pack in smoking. That's why I'm on this, because it's hard. It's that addiction. It never really lets up. Yeah. But I've done it. I've been saying with everything. I'm a bugger for getting. I'm not an addict. I don't have an addictive personality, but I'm a bugger for finding things that I like and then going for it.
Yeah.
So I discovered beer, and
that can be a good or a bad thing, can't it, Shaun? It's like discovered comedy.
I took everything. I took everything that I liked and I did it well. I did it to excess. So beer. I don't know if any. I don't know if I'm not even sure if I mentioned this on last pod. I first got pissed when I was 5, and it was completely by accident. But I got up one Saturday morning, and my dad used to work in the cash and carry, and he'd bring stuff home for Christmas. And me being 5 foot when I was 5 years old, I could reach on the shelves in the pantry. So one Saturday morning, we got up early. We were just pottering about downstairs. Mum and Dad's still in bed. I've fetched this bottle down off the shelf, took top off, had a swig, took it in the room, Ali and Joanna this week, they didn't like it, so I sucked it with a bottle of fucking sherry, Harvey's Bristol Cream, full bottle. I did it all in. My brother had to go upstairs and go, Mum, someone took me out, Shaun, he can't get dressed. She come down, I'm in my vest and pants, and I'm sat on the sofa trying to put my sock on, and I could not get my foot in my sock. I'm like, Mum, I can't get my socks on. And she went, oh, bleeding hell, he's pissed up. Rings me granddad. My granddad was a pit deputy, trained first aider, all that. I said, Dad, Shaun's pissed. What's he had? He's had a bottle of sherry. Is he awake? Has he been sick? No, get him down here. So they dragged me, walked me down to Vaping, 2 mile out fields, blazing hot sunny day. My grandfather got hold of me, lifted my eyelids up and he went, has he been sick? No, Grandad. You feel sick? No, Grandad. Go and lay down, I'll be right. I went and slept it off. So by the time I'm like 14, 15, and I get back on beer in a big way, well, yes, fucking get it down. And I did right through my 20s. I were a proper pisshead. I liked my spliff. I liked acid too much. So, you know, and it's just because, not because, like I say, it's not an addictive thing because I packed everything in as well. But it's just because if I find something I like, I want to do it all the time.
Yeah. Just going back to the social media thing, I think there'll be a bit of detriment to kids that are on social media now, and then all of a sudden aren't allowed to be on it, and that's my worry. Because, well, the second point about that is that do you really think that they won't find a way?
Yeah,
and like we found a way to smoke and drink, didn't we, when we were underage and we couldn't do it? They'll find a way. My kids, whenever we get a new phone or a laptop or whatever, we'll go to Lottie and say, "Can you set this up for me?" You know what I mean? She knows more about computers than I do, exactly. And she has done at a young age. She'll find it. They'll find a way of doing it, and in a way, that's worse because there's no parental control then because they're doing it behind your back.
Yeah. But that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. We found ways around underage drinking.
Yeah.
They're going to find ways, they're not stupid. They're going to find inventive ways to get round it. I mean, for a start, the first thing, and it's an obvious one, they'll just download a VPN onto the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got that. I mean, I pay for all the phones, so if they want to put an app on their phone, I get a notification. Can they download that app?
So that's good.
So,
but with a VPN, you won't get that.
No.
Pardon?
If they have a VPN, you won't get the notification.
Yeah, you won't, if they download a VPN, you won't get that notification.
You would, yeah. You still get the notification.
Oh, cool.
All the
well,
VPN,
that's good then.
It just changes your IP address. That's all the VPN does. It just constantly changes your IP address. That's all it does. But I'd still get the notification because the account's tied to my account.
Yeah. You see, what I've always done, and like with alcohol, like I let my kids have a little drink of alcohol when they were younger, at Christmas or if we're, on holiday or whatever. Not a lot, a little glass of cider or, a little bit of my beer or whatever. And there'd never been an issue. They didn't go like I did. I went feral, mate, at 12, 13-year-old and just started drinking, and smoking and doing drugs and stupid things. Never had a problem with that. So from my perspective, letting them have a little bit of what they want isn't a bad thing. And I just think it's governments again. Like it's governments trying to control what everybody does, so they know exactly what you're doing at all points in time. And I think this is just another one of those controls. Personally,
I think there's that much shit on social media. There's that much fucking horrible stuff going on. They can watch loads of shit. There's so much bullying going on there. I especially Snapchat, because the stuff disappears straight away.
Yeah.
And I just think it's good. I think it's good. That's my opinion on it. And if it is control, I don't give a shit as long as my kids don't get to see it.
And the thing, you're right, Charlie, because Snapchat, that's fucking nonsense playground.
Yeah.
That's Nonsense Playground. Yeah. That's where they go because they know young kids have Snapchat, and that's where they go, and they get them on there. I mean, and the thing is, like you say, with internet, like they'll go on and see videos of stuff that I don't even want to see. You know, these like the kind of stuff that they used to show on Dead Men Talking when they first started. Well, they never used to show them, but the stuff where it's like people putting their own dicks off, and people.
Animals. Well, one popped up on my lad's feed the other day. Animals getting fucking blown up.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's like, nah, fucking. In fact, one of his mates had taken her off YouTube or something and put it into the WhatsApp group, and it's like, nah, that's fucking horrible. Come out that WhatsApp group, go in that WhatsApp group.
I mean, for me, my kids are like 18 and 20, so at the end of the day, it don't really matter to me, and I ain't got grandkids yet, so by the time grandkids get, when we have grandkids and everything, by the time that happens, it'll be new. So I don't really care. I get where you've got kids that it affects, so I understand that. Personally, I don't think it's the greatest thing. I think, like you've said, if they'd have banned the smoking in 1985, I wouldn't be smoking now, probably wouldn't be vaping and all this, that and the other. But yeah, I get it from that perspective, but I think it might affect kids now who have got access to it and then they take it away.
But it was just like when we were smoking and they started banning smoking.
And we were adults when that happened. Yeah. I mean, we were adults when it happened.
We got over it though, didn't we?
Yeah, we got over it. The flip
side is you're not fucking vapes. You're not vapes.
You remember though?
Side is, right? If they had banned smoking when we were 15, 16 or whatever, right? If they had done it, I'd be a right boring bastard now. I wouldn't be a comedian. I wouldn't be a comedian. I'd probably be working in a fucking engineering firm somewhere, probably earning a lot more money, but God, I'd be a fucking dickhead. I'd be so boring. I'd probably be and this is true. If I'd have stayed, done what I was supposed to do, got my chemical engineering degree, and gone off and worked in engineering and worked for ICI up Christ knows what, I'd have been a middle class, middle management, golf playing gammon. I'd have been an absolute fucking prick. Instead, I'm just a cunt.
No, I understand. I understand what you're coming from. I went through exactly the same with electrical engineering. Yeah. And I understand totally where you come from. I would have as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be fucking sat here in this Everton shirt anyway.
Do you know what? Can I be dead honest with you? You'd probably have gone away, done your degree in your chemical engineering, gone all over the world and whatever, doing your job, right? And because of the pressure of that job, because of the other stuff, you were still born with the same chemistry that you've got now, mate. There's every chance that being that person could have made you even more depressed than you are now.
There's a good chance that person would have topped himself because he wouldn't have had the network of people around that care.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly that, because corporations don't give a flying fuck about you, mate. No. Like we've talked about this on the pod before. The corporate businesses that I've left where I thought I had friends, like true friends in those businesses, I can count on half of one hand now how many of those fucking friends I still have. Charlie's one of them, and everything. But if you were to say to me how many friends have I got through the comedy circuit, fuck me, I'd have to take my shoes and socks off. I'd have to get the fucking abacus out. It's a really good. And there's as many twats as well. Don't get me wrong. There's as many twats out there on the comedy scene, but most of them, I would say, and certainly in the circles that we travel at the moment, mate, they're pretty good. They're really nice. Oh, yeah. And I think it's really important to have that. Like obviously, you did a cameo on the last pod with Callum and him going through his. But what's obviously, this is about you, mate. This is your time to kind of vent what's been going on. And say as little or as much as you want. Obviously, you mentioned it started back in March. What happened? What was like the? Obviously, we know that we've all got underlying issues and stuff, but what triggered it?
I'll be honest with you. The first thing that triggered it was I had, and I'm not gonna try and hide it. I had done some gigs for that to sit down for stand up.
Oh right, I know this story then.
And when it got pointed out to me, things that I didn't know about the setup and stuff, allegations that had been made, which I'm not going to go into because it's been done to death. I walked away because people on circuit round here did care enough to say to me, "Look, Shaun, you've got to get out. You've got to get away from them because it's not good." And you know what? It was the best thing I ever did. But at the same time, because I am who I am, and bear in mind, they gave me gigs. They did what nobody else was doing at the time. I got stage time. I got to close gigs. I got to do 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In Bicester.
Well, if you remember rightly, mate, you booked me for one of those gigs. So
yeah, and then I had to come.
I'm going to openly say on this forum now that Danny, who runs Sit Down for Stand Up, because obviously there's been stuff said about him and there's been a lot of crap go on the internet between him and the East Midlands circuit specifically. Again, not going to mention it because none of the allegations and stuff are substantiated as far as I'm concerned. All I've heard is the rumour mill. And I'm not saying the right, I'm not saying the wrong. When I first met Danny, I went on his podcast. I got on with him really well. I found him that he was an okay guy. I got on with him and went on his podcast. And actually, the morning that I did the podcast was the day that big post broke on Facebook, and it all came out about bits and bobs about his character. After that, Danny booked me for a gig in London with a decent fee, and the reason that I won't gig for him now is because he booked me to MC one of his gigs, and then he gave me notice. To be fair, it wasn't like the day before. He cancelled me and decided to MC the gig himself. And for me, that was like, well, that fee was in my diary. It was part of what I was going to get. And I thought that was bang out of order. So that's the only semi-issue I've got with him. And I do, if any other promoter did that to me without good reason, and I don't see it as a good reason that I've decided to save money. So I make more money. I'm going to cancel the booking. And he can disagree with me, and anyone out there can disagree with me. I think that's bang out of order. But yeah, it all. And you booked me for that gig, hadn't you? So what happened was, and this is me looking at it as an outsider looking in, and you can say whether I'm right or wrong, I suppose, on this. What happened was, I think he'd got a bit of a reputation on the circuit, so he started handing gigs for other people to book. And when you booked me for that gig, I didn't know it was for him. No. We had it, and then I realised when the Instagram post went out that I was on the poster for this Sit Down for Stand Up gig, and I knew what kind of backlash that could have on my career. But I did argue it in the group, if you remember. I argued, it's just a gig. I've been booked by Shaun, and I like Shaun, and we're mates, and and in the end, both of us pulled from it.
Yeah, and the thing is, for exactly the same reason as you, Chris. You have a reputation, and it don't matter what the allegations turn out to be. It doesn't matter whether they are proven, unproven, whether he's exonerated, whether he's redeemed, whatever. Shit sticks, and if it's being thrown around, you've got to avoid it because you're not that kind of person. But if you get associated with somebody that has got that reputation, by association, you get tarred with it. And that's why I walked away. In terms of the actual gigs, I enjoyed them because there were diverse lineups. I mean, you know, people accuse him of racism. There's no racism on his lineups. There's everybody's welcome. There were no bar on race, gender, sexuality, anything. And the lineups that I gigged with, some of the people I'm still friends with now. And now they're not gigging with him, they're doing their own stuff. I'll still gig for them because I've made friends with them. But like you say, you've got to be careful because it's so easy to get lumped in with somebody who's a wrong un. And what I don't like is the whole gatekeeping thing, where it becomes about personalities, where it becomes about, and I'm not going to name any names because that would be crass, and I'm not doing it. But the way that somebody will say, "Well, I don't like them, so if you're working with them, I'm never going to book you." Right, fine. It's no skin off my nose, but as I get better, as I improve, and as I do come up, what you're doing there is you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. Because if I get to a point where I'm getting successful, you said you'll never book me. Well, that's fine. But don't then turn around if I do become successful and say, "Oh, can I book you?" Because I'll just turn around and say, "Well, no, because you said you could never book me because I work with them." That's how it works. You can't have your cake and eat it. And it gets me wound up. Like, why do it?
It's so hard out there.
Judge people on what they do for you, not who they've done, not on what they've done for somebody else. If you come along and do a gig for somebody and you smash it, then they should be looking at you and going, "I don't care who the fuck they've gigged with, he's fucking great or she's fucking great." If you go along to a gig and you're absolute dog shit, then they've got every right to say, "Look, it just didn't work. You weren't very good." But then to say to you, "But look, go away, work on your stuff, come back to me when you've got, when you have worked on it, and we'll have another look." I don't mind that. That's fine. That's fine. But it's this thing of, you must have done this or you cannot do this. Fuck off. We're all at it for the same reason. We want to get up on stage. We want to make ourselves laugh. We want to make an audience laugh, because for that fucking 10, 15, 20 minutes that we're on stage, we're happy.
Yeah.
We're in our fucking happy place, living our best life, and it keeps us from going under in a lot of cases. So
it's so hard now on the scene. I mean, obviously I started 15, 16 years ago, and it was easier then to get onto like open spots on pro bills, to get spotted by the promoters. There's just so many acts now, and specifically I'm thinking about three specifics in like the Yorkshire scene, where it literally is, if you gig for him, you're not gigging for me, and this and the other. And I just think, there's no reason that me or you or anyone could gig for all of those promoters and make successful nights for everyone. There's no reason, really. The beef between promoters shouldn't come into who they book for acts, and just makes it so much harder. So I can understand how that might, I know, because I spoke to you after the whole situation with the sit down for stand-up stuff. We had a chat and whatnot, and I know what that did to you, and it's fucking awful to see. As necessary as it was for you to pull out, and for me to pull out, I was the same. I'm like, well, that's a promoter I can't work for now, and it's like, it's for good reason, because if these things are true, then I wouldn't be wanting to be associated with that anyway. But like there's a lot of it that happens. That's not an isolated situation. It happens across the piece.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's so prevalent, and it's a shame, but I am starting to get more gigs now. I'm starting to get offers to do MC gigs, which I love. I love MCing. I'm starting to get more sort of, all right, I'm not getting paid big, 150, 200 quid weekend gigs, but I'm getting gigs that are paying 50 quid, 60 quid, 80 quid. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to put your hours in. I mean, when I first started, I was dead lucky because because my best mate at the time was Toby Foster, who were in band with, and he just said to me, "Come and guest MC at Lescar. Come and do a couple of spots at Lescar." And that's how I started. And I'm not going to lie, I was dog shit, but he believed in me. And there were I had flashes of inspiration where I could be funny. Most of them were off stage, but I did it, and it was a great experience. I met a lot of good friends, and then when I took a break, I went away, concentrated on music, but then I wanted to get back because I missed it. I love being on stage anyway, and I've always loved being a singer, and I've been successful as a singer, to a degree. But actually seeing people laughing, belly laughing, that's always what got me. Even with brothers, when we're in brothers, it weren't the sing. It weren't. I mean, I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I'm a good singer, but it weren't the singing. It's what I was singing. It's the fact that people were singing along and laughing and being happy for an hour. That's what got me, and so that for me, where I had to get back into stand up, and it's took a bit of I've grafted. I'm back in. I'm 3 years back in now, and I have grafted. I started from scratch, and it's been an hard road. Some stuff I've done has been great. Some stuff I've thrown away because it was just horrible, just crap. But that's how you develop, and you've got to put your time in. So 2 years from now, if we have this conversation, 2 years from now, hopefully, we'll be having a completely different conversation because I'll have moved on.
Yeah, me too, mate. I mean, I'm just under 2 years back. I came back November 24 after being on and off for years. I did 2 or 3 years at the beginning, 2013. Work got in the way. Did bits and bobs in between, and then came back November 24. So. I still class myself as a newbie now. It's like I am getting some opportunities, but not as good as what you're getting by the sounds of that, mate. But it's that's great to hear that you're loving it. And obviously from March, we're now in July, and obviously you've had some very ups and down positions, mate. I've seen we've. The last time because you posted on Facebook, and I didn't reach out to you, mate, and the reason that I didn't reach out to you was because I spoke to a couple of people at a gig and said, "Is Shaun okay?" And I can't remember who it was, said I reached out to him, and he basically said he wanted to be left alone. So that's the reason I didn't reach out to you, mate.
Yeah, and the thing is, I appreciated everybody that didn't, because that's what I'd asked them. But then at the same time, I appreciated the ones who went, "You can fuck off, I'm going to come around and see you and make sure you're all right." I appreciated them as well, because they know me enough to know I might not have wanted to talk to them, but it helped them coming round. I didn't like I left them at the top of the stairs. I won't come out. I won't get out of bed and talk to them. I left them at the top of the stairs and talked to them through fucking bedroom door. But it meant a lot that they came, and that's the thing. Is that I'm a big ball of, when I'm on form, when I'm feeling 100%, I'll give you anything. I'll stop a bullet for you. I'll get shoes off my feet, I'll get clothes off my bike, I'll give me last fiver. When I'm in on myself and I'm down on myself, I just don't want to be around anybody. I just want to be isolated, because I know if I go out amongst people, I'm going to be a cunt and I'm going to upset people, and I know that's horrible, and I know that is just something that I can't control. So that's what I do. I step away, because otherwise I'm going to end up alienating people that care, and I can't do that. Can't do that. So.
Obviously, we're coming to the end, but where are you at now then, Shaun? Obviously, you're going to go and get some counselling, you said.
Yeah. I won't say I'm 100% by any means. You know, I'm not like I say, I'm not sleeping at night, so most of the time I'm sleeping during the day to catch up. I don't want to be at people in very much, you know. So I've done a couple of gigs, which have been fantastic. It's weird. People say, "Oh well, but you're off work. How can you justify gigging?" I'm like, well, the gigs I've been doing aren't paid gigs. I'm doing them because it keeps me sane, because it keeps me alive. And I'll tell you what, if I don't do them, I won't be coming back to work, because I'll be in a fucking box. So you either accept that for what it is, or you know, you don't. And I don't. And I've got to the point now. I'm 57. I don't give a fuck anymore now. All I'm bothered about now is being well, being happy, and just just easing gently into slowing down a bit. I'm never going to stop. Because I love it too much. And if I don't carry on doing stand-up, you know, then I'll do something different. But I love doing stand-up, and I don't give a shit that people go, "Oh, it's a young man's game." It's fucking not. Mick Ferry's not as old as me, by the way. That's what winds me up. Mick Ferry is fucking younger than me by about 4 months. Toby Foster is 6 months fucking younger than me. Them lads have been doing it 30 odd year. I'm so annoyed that I didn't do it back when I should have. But you know,
it annoys me that I quit back in 2012-13, mate. It really annoys me. But you've got to get rid of that, haven't you? But just to pick up on something, that fucking attitude that people have, where they go, how can you not go to work but you can go out, you can go and see your friends, you can go and do a comedy gig? That really irks me, that does. That really annoys me. You're not bedridden, you've got mental health issues, and therefore getting out and seeing people and doing those things is a road to recovery. It's not that's gonna help you, and if it isn't gonna help you, do it.
Literally, Chris, it's literally prescribed by a medical professional who says, get out, go and see your friends, go and do the things that make you happy, go and do the things that you love. So the thing that I don't love at the minute is what we're doing, is the day job. And that's not the day job's fault.
No.
It's just the situation. It's just how it is.
And you're not in a position to perform at your job because of the illness you've got and the things that you're going through. And that's been told to you by a doctor. The doctor's not said, don't go to work, don't go out, stay in bed, don't eat, don't drink, you're ill, you can't do anything other than be ill.
Yeah,
what exactly. Bollocks. I've had a few people like with this. Oh, I can't be seen to be gigging because I'm currently off work, ill. And it's like, what the fuck is that all about? Your job's nothing to do with comedy.
No, and here's the thing. I know with my mental state at the minute, if I go out and do a gig, it's not life and death. Nobody's going to be affected if I have a shit gig. Only me. If I go to work in mental state I'm in, and either upset a customer, make a big mistake, or cross a line with one of my colleagues or something like that, that is life and death. That's me getting fired.
Yeah, it's massive.
So it's a completely different thing. I don't want to go into work because I don't want to risk losing my job. It don't matter if I go out and do 10 minutes and fucking die on my hoop. That don't matter. But it's just trying to get that. It's just trying to get that through to people that this is not about, you're doing a second job. This is not a job.
No, it's a hobby. We don't get paid.
We all aim for it to be a living, but it's not a job. This is a calling. This is love. This is passion. That's why you get.
And at our level, Shaun, any money that you get, it only pays the petrol you have to pay to get to where you get nothing. It's mad. But I think the story, the moral is here, like from where you were to where you are now, you're not there. You're not there yet, but you've come a long way, mate. Yeah,
I feel better, but I know I'm not there yet. I know I'm not well enough to be in that situation where it is pressured, where things do matter. Yeah. And that's the thing. I might feel completely different in a couple of weeks. It might even feel different tomorrow. I don't know. But I know that today, this is how I am.
Yeah, touch wood, mate. 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, whatever. Hopefully you'll go, I'm ready to go back and do my day job. And comedy will help you get there, mate, and stuff. But thanks ever so much for being it's been really open and honest. We didn't have any plan as to what we were going to talk about today, mate. I said to Charlie before you came on, do we want to talk about anything specifically? And we just said, let Shaun talk about what he wants to talk about today. We've had some lively debate. We've had some really deep and meaningful conversation. But I can see that Charlie's itching.
Oh, he's doing it.
He's itching over there. And you know what's going on, don't you? You know what's...
Yeah, after, because we couldn't do one last week, could we? Because Callum...
Callum's phone died.
Yeah. So here we go. You ready, Shaun?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Funny Farm. The lads are back, causing harm, talking shite but full of charm. It's the Funny Farm Showdown. Hello and welcome to this week's Funny Farm Showdown. And today's topic, or today's animal, is animals who are most likely to be chemical engineers.
Okay, that's a good one.
Jeez, animals most likely to be chemical engineers. Non-humans, I'm saying. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't even think humans are meant to be chemical engineers, if I'm honest. But I think if we're talking about non-humans, St. Bernard.
This is a tough one, isn't it?
Okay, St. Bernard's, we've got something, a St. Bernard dog.
St. Bernard dogs.
Why is that?
Because they are reliable.
All I've got on my head now is snore bits. Go on. They're reliable.
But they're reliable. They are diligent in what they do. But ultimately, they're not an exciting dog.
They're lovely and fluffy and big.
Yeah, but they're not exciting. They're not like a Rhodesian Ridgeback or an Irish Wolfhound or a Staffy. They're exciting dogs. Jack Russell's the most exciting dog going because they're little punks.
Yeah. I'm with you there. St. Bernard's are more studious, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Does Chris, do you even know who Schnorbits is?
It was that bloke, wasn't it, who had Schnorbits? Oh,
Bernie Winters.
Bernie Winters, yeah. I know.
And I'm old enough to remember when it was Mike and Bernie Winters.
Fucking hell, you're old, mate. You're the same age as Charlie, you know.
Mike and Bernie Winters, they were on telly all fucking time. Mike, were Mike older brother? They were brothers, right? So it's Mike and Bernie Winters. Mike died, and he died pretty young. I think he was only in his early 50s. And then Bernie didn't live until, I think Bernie was only in his sort of late 60s. But they were one of them old school variety comedy acts. They could do it all. They could sing, they could dance, they could do a funny triple threat. Yeah. And they were national treasures. And Schnorbits, by association, became a national treasure because she was Bernie's dog. And we're almost more famous than he were at the end.
So you've gone for a St. Bernard's dog?
Yeah, come on, Chris, what are you going for?
I think this is quite obvious, I do. I think it's Snake. Because I watched a documentary about Snake and the venom, particularly, right? And they are that intelligent that they know how much venom to put into certain prey. So, like, if they kill a mouse, they know just enough to paralyse it or to kill it. And if it's something bigger like us, they'd know to put more venom into us. So they're very, very good at managing their own chemicals and producing it. And
I think that's a very good counter animal. That is, Chris.
I think that's good because they've got the mathematics.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very hard decision this week. It's a very hard decision. But I think I'm more going to go with my heart over my head this week. I'm going to go for St. Bernard. Because I love St. Bernard. I just think they're dead cuddly. So you've won, Big Shaun.
Shaun, I think...
If you would have said a sausage dog or something, Chris, you would have won.
But you know what? You know what? You know who's going to have something to say about it, don't you? He'll be on phone. He'll be on phone.
Who?
You know, I don't think that was a legitimate win. You know, Big Shaun there, not a good guy. Not a good guy. We don't know a lot about him, but he's not a good guy. Not a good guy at all. Chris, though, again, good guy, maybe. Who knows? We don't know. We're looking into it. We're looking into it.
Give him my number. I'll take the fucking bribe.
Do you know what? Give me 1 minute on my own. 1 minute on my own with that orange bastard.
I agree with what Donald just said there, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm going to be honest, that's the first time I've ever fucking agreed with anything that Donald Trump has said. So fair play. But I think we all know in our heart of hearts that Chris won that, really. And, you know, Shaun, well done for playing. And you take the trophy home. You take the trophy home.
I know more about trophies than anybody else. Nobody knows more trophies than I do. Nobody knows anything about winning more than Donald Trump. That's the thing.
I just want to, just before we leave, I want to give a big shout out to Derbyshire United, who are a charity football club in Derbyshire. I did their awards ceremony for them last year, and I've only just realised I'm drinking out of the glass they gave me this when I did the gig. Just big shout out to Derbyshire United. And so this pod's inadvertently sponsored by a charity football team, who are very good. Thank you ever so much for joining us today, Shaun.
Again,
it's been a pleasure, lads.
Keep in touch, mate. As I said to Callum on Friday, please don't be afraid to pick the phone up, drop us a message. You can come on the pod anytime you want to have a chat on this forum and off pod. We can arrange to do it. You know, we can have a chat off pod anytime, mate. I really think that you are an awesome guy and you're very funny and you're just a nice chap. And I'm touching wood because there's fucking loads of sawdust in there and loads of sweat in this room. I'm praying that I'm not praying because I don't believe in God, but I'm willing that you get much better in the next few weeks and everything.
Yes, me and all, pal. Me and all, because I'm ready for it. I'm off now to get into me priest garb because I'm going to do my first Father Shaun show. So I've only got the one confession this week, but it'll be a nice introduction. So
Where's that at?
Well, it'll be on my channel, so it'll be on the Big Shaun Experience YouTube channel, and it's going to be Father Shaun's Confessions. So Brilliant. We want people to send the confessions in. Now they can do it anonymously if they want. The email address is thebigshaunaexperiencece@proton.me. Any confession, dirty secrets, guilty pleasures, whatever, get them to drop them in, folks, and drop them in, and I'll read them out, and I'll judge whether they get penance or whether I give them absolution. And it's all going to be, as I say, it's all going to be Father Shaun. So
did Charlie send you his yesterday?
No.
Oh, and I'll tell you now then, Charlie's confession is that he's actually an Everton fan, and this has all been a ruse.
Yeah. Like, listen, I might be a big daft lad, but even I'm not going to fucking believe that.
Right. Thank you ever so much for joining us, Shaun. You're a friend of the pod, and you always will be. We love you.
No worries.
But our thoughts are always with you, and everything like that. And everyone out.
And same with you. You know where I am.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. We've had many messages on Messenger, haven't we, about our shit life is and stuff. But yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening, watching, however you get these, Spotify, YouTube. Obviously, keep looking at our socials. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got TikTok. Please go on there and follow us. If only TikTok and Instagram, that'd be wonderful. Anyway, follow us on Facebook as well. Follow me on Facebook, Chris Richmond, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Chris Rich Comedian. I've got gigs in Birmingham. I'm doing a gig at the Sturch in Birmingham on Thursday night, and I'm gigging for Russley on Saturday in Kirkby in Ashfield at the Barn. All the info's on there online. And Charlie's gigging this weekend as well in his suspenders at the Top Hat Club. So if you want to go and see that, that'd be nothing. I'm only kidding.
That's actually the Cockwell Inn. I'm in the
Cockwell Inn. Cockwell Inn. And Shaun will be there providing the cock.
Back up.
Yorkshire beef.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. We will see you next time. We love you.